Hey everybody, I figured I'd come out here and show you how my truck does off-road, and I took it out on a couple of tank trails out here on Fort Sill. It seems to be doing pretty well with the new tires. Definitely needs a little bit of suspension lift, and those rock sliders gotta go. I'll show you guys some of the modifications that I've done to the vehicle while I've been deployed. I had my wife install a lot of them. First part I did was I bought 15 by 8 inch Krager V5 wheels, and I got a set of 32 by 11.5 Falcon Wild Peak all-terrains, and they do a pretty good job actually. I mean, the terrain out here is kind of rocky, a little bit of mud, not very like deep mud, but it's fairly tacky because the dirt out here in Oklahoma is kind of like clay, so it has a tendency to get a bit clogged up in my treads a little bit. Not so much on the back because they've been spinning a bit. Actually, this side's fairly clean. But this side you can kind of see what I'm talking about. The tread blocks get a little bit filled up with the clay, but once you get up above about, like, I'd say 5-10 miles an hour, they actually start flinging the dirt off pretty well. It gets all over the truck a little bit. You can see a bit on the hood. I brushed some of it off before the video. But they provide great traction. I didn't even air these down. They're still sitting at 40 psi, which is the standard pressure that I keep them at. I usually don't go higher than that because 50 psi is what they're rated for, but I've never seen the need to have 50 psi in a set of truck tires. I tinted the windows to 5%, or I had Aubrey do it anyways. It's pretty good. It's a little bit too dark at night sometimes, so I've got to roll the windows down and pop open my rear. Last night I installed, or not really installed, but applied a set of Duplicolor bed armor. It's pretty good, but a few spots, like, it'll kind of, I don't know, it'll leave like spots where it won't really apply very well, or it kind of bleeds off a little bit. I got a couple of spots like that. I'm going to do a touch up on it later, just that way it looks more uniform, more professional, a little bit better than that. I put it on the hood too because I'm eventually going to do the entire truck body like this. I do like it though. It's really solid, tough, good coating. And I know one of my viewers asked me to do a little bit of under the hood action, so I'll show you guys my engine. Nothing really all that special. I mean, back in, I think, September, I had Aubrey get a new fuel pump. Just a second, I gotta put the hot prop rod up. Okay, but here's the engine. 2.7 liter Nissan turbo diesel. Nothing really that special, just basic, like, AutoZone intake. I put a new radiator on it last summer because these hoses and shit were going bad, and this one here was held on with one clamp and a shitload of JB weld. It was kind of a bit of a redneck engineering on the part of the previous owner, along with bungee cord holding the battery down. I'm eventually going to be replacing that bracket, but so far I haven't had any problems with it. But, you know, I don't trust it. I've got a bit higher standards than that, but yeah, this is the engine. Just fits, it drops right in pretty well. If you plan on installing this engine in your own vehicle, the engine mount on this side, this truck originally had a 2.4 liter gas motor, and the engine mount on this side, I had to move it forward towards the grill a little bit. It was about a 3-inch move. We just cut it off and then welded it back to the frame. It wasn't that hard of a job, actually. I mean, other than that, the engine drops in just fine. The passenger side engine mount does just fine. It's the exact same location as the 2.4 liter gas motors. I don't know if the V6 has the same mounting points because I've never really seen one. But that's the engine, and now I'll show you guys a little bit of the rear, and just to prove to you, yes, it is a diesel. There's all the soot that has kind of accumulated on my back bumper. The tailpipe, I got fairly big hands, but I don't know if this will really be a good comparison for you guys so you can see, but it's about a 3.5 inch pipe. At least the tip is. The pipe itself I think is 2.5 inches, but it's a straight pipe exhaust. It does help with the turbo spool up, so helps keep my torque up high. I'll start it up for you guys so you can see it. I put new shift knobs on it. I got matching ones. These are just AutoZone cheapo shift knobs, but they do a good job. They hold on to the stick very well. They don't like turn around and jostle around on the stick. They grip it very well. They both match up just fine on the transfer case and the shift knob. As far as interior modifications, nothing really done. Just your basic standard 1994 Nissan Hardbody. Yeah, I found out this thing was a 94, not a 95, but for the most part, they're near the same. But here's the engine. She does run pretty good. Okay. Let you guys see some of the smoke. I don't know how well my camera's doing at picking up the turbo whistle, but you can hear it pretty well in real life. Really wish I had my backup cameraman here to allow me to rev the engine for you guys while you guys get to hear the turbo whistle, but you know, I can do that some other time if anybody really wants to see it. But just letting you guys know, I have been working on this truck. It's been doing great. This entire trail that I've been down, it has not spun tires once. It grips very well. It climbs this hill very, very easily. I thought it would be a lot harder than it was, but for the most part, going off-road, I haven't really even had to touch the throttle at all. I mean, I haven't really had to give it any gas. It just has so much low-end torque that it doesn't really need anything. I mean, put it in 4 low and you've got all the torque in the world. But I'm gonna get off now so I'm not wasting you guys' time, but enjoy.